Ladies and gentlemen, I am Amir Khalid. I am Chartered Certified Accountant. In this video, I am going to answer the questions that students asked me, and I promised them to make an entire video about them. And this particular video is going to be so relevant to you because the questions that were asked is the most common problems that students have. And if you are an ACCA, CA, or any student who is going to tackle an exam and who is going to have some kind of preparation for the exam, this video is for you. Just give it a try. All right, so we're going to look at the first question. The first question is from Hasina. Okay, he said that, Salam, I'm very confused when it comes to preparing for my F3 exams. I have only covered the first few chapters, but I always get so confused when I try to solve the questions on open tuition. All right, so I lose confidence very easily. Can you recommend me which lectures I should check out to get a good grip of the concepts? Okay, so we're going to answer the first part of that. First and foremost, it is absolutely understandable to panic when you are preparing for the first papers of ACCA. When you're doing something for the first time, it is understandable, it's perfectly acceptable to be panicking. There is nothing wrong about it, and it's a journey. You're gonna get better when you tackle more exams. You have to understand something. God has prepared you for this path. God has taken you to this path despite the fact that there were millions of other possibilities in this universe. And if you think that this is the right moment, this is the right place for you, you will certainly get the ACCA membership. However, there would be some kind of like trials and tribulations and tests, exam and real life, and you have to tackle that in order to distinguish yourself from other people who do not have such kind of qualification. All right, so first and foremost, it's perfectly understandable to panic. There is nothing wrong about that. The second thing is that open tuition, I have tried that. I do not want to disadvertise the open tuition. However, when I look at my Kaplan BPP and ACCA practice platform, I find it more helpful. All right, so I'm going to give you an advice to purchase a Kaplan or BPP textbook for the F3 based on your preference. All right, so I have made a video about which one you should select, Kaplan or BPP. Once you have purchased your Kaplan or BPP, read the entire chapter. For example, F3, I think have got like 20 chapters like that. So read the first chapter, and when you have read the first chapter, try to understand it excellently. Do not try to neglect it. Do not try to be lazy about it. Have a mindset of that you're teaching your students after you have grasped the concept. Make imaginary students and try to teach them the concepts that you have learned from the F3. Visualize the things, for example, debit and credit and other things, that other concepts in the F3. All right, once you have clearly grasped the concept of every single chapter, you can do that by teaching your imaginary students. And once you have done that, go to the exam kit, whether that is Kaplan or BPP, does not matter. Go to that and go to the 2019 questions and beyond. All right, solve in as much as questions that you can that is update question. Do not try to just introduce yourself to new type of question all the time, or when you have not understood the previous questions excellently. All right, when you do not feel comfortable with one type of question, just leave it. all right? So do not put pressure on yourself. You will not be able to 100% understand everything about F3 and any other kind of subject. And no human is perfect, all right? You're going to feel comfortable with one type of question, you're not going to feel comfortable with other. Leave that. At this point, leave that. But when you have understood all of the book, then go to your weak point, all right? So the next part of question is that I lose confidence very easily. So, okay. So the thing is that, why would you lose your confidence easily? You are a human being, first and foremost. The fact that you are here from like 400 million chances of potential people who could have been in your place. You're here for a purpose. And this is not the end of the world. ACCA is like the passing rate of ACCA is like 30%, for example, in average. And for the F3, I think that is 40% or 45%. I do not understand. Like, think about it. Are you not going to be selected among among 100 people? Among 100 people, for example, 45 of these people are going to be selected to pass the ACCA F3. Are you not capable enough to be among these 45 people? All right. If you're not, then probably the ACCA is not for you. But I'm sure that you can do it. All right. Do not lose confidence very easily. Like, take a risk. Life is like just take it or leave it, something like that. This is the end of the world right now. For example, this is the last day of your life, whether this is now or never, all right? So life is competition, kind of, cooperation and this kind of stuff. But if you do not compete, if you do not be different, then you're going to lose, all right? So the next part is that, can you recommend me which lectures I should check out? Okay. So me personally, I understand concepts when I read it myself and when I teach it to my students. For example, there is one particular place that I do not understand. I go and check it on YouTube, I check it on YouTube, and the next thing is that the second choice is that there are lots of ACCA learning partnerships, ACCA learning online courses that you can enroll yourself with very low amount of money. Then there are comprehensive lectures that you can actually read. Just Google it. If you understand it based on the visualization technique or based on the imaginary students teaching technique, that is good. And the parts that you do not understand, you can just easily search it in YouTube. And if you are not comfortable with the imaginary student teaching technique, you can enroll to a course online with a very low amount of money, and you can find comprehensive lectures, all right? And the next part is that I have to appear for the exam in a month, so solving the BPP kit will be enough? Absolutely, it is enough. Lots of students try to touch everything. Just focus on one thing. When you have chosen BPP, focus on BPP. If you have chosen Kaplan, focus on Kaplan. If you do both, it might be fine, but you're going to be very confused. There are lots of things to cover, and you will, for example, practice 100 questions, but the level of your understanding would be 50%. You have concentrated on the quality, but not the you have concentrated on the quantity of the questions, but not the quality of the questions. I would recommend you to practice just 50 questions, for example, but understand all of them perfectly. It's better. The chances of your passing is high in that method. All right. So 80 marks, okay. In ACCA, the marks are not important. The fact that you pass the exam, that is 100%. 50 is the pass mark, and you get that. That is your goal. Do not care about the 80. Do not care about the 100. All right. So I post the videos. I've got 100. That is an unrealistic expectation from everybody. I do that. I got the nearly perfect mark. That is not a lie, but I do that. I do not want to say that to students publicly, because it will demotivate them, because that is an unrealistic expectation from everybody. The fact that I can get a mark like that does not mean I'm smarter than you. It means that there are lots of factors, luck, for example, and lots of other. For example, I may have some kind of qualities in exam techniques that absolutely does not ensure my long-term growth, like long-term success. That is very important. The fact that you can get 50 plus, that is 100 for me, all right? For everybody. Nobody is going to check your transcript. At the level of your communication, the fact that you're ethical or not, the fact that you trust the process or not, that you pray for the God or not, those factors will determine your long-term success, not what you get 100 or 80. That absolutely doesn't mean anything, all right? So yeah, that was the first question. So the next question is that I failed F2, IMA 32, resit in 6 weeks. Please help me, I do not know how to pass. Okay, focus on the quality rather than quantity. And this question is from Halima Sadia, all right? I say that all the time, focus on quality rather than the quantity. Just solve 50 questions, long questions, rather than 1,000 questions, but not understanding any of it. Focus on the quality, all right? So when you do your kit, get the questions, only the questions that are update questions, 2019 and beyond. First, try the questions. You're gonna understand it a little bit, then read the answer for that question. You're gonna understand it perfectly or excellently. When you do not know the answer, it means you have to ask a tutor, you have to do some research about it. And if you do not get that at all, just leave the questions for now, all right? So, and do that for the next question, for the next questions. Then when you have perfectly attempted all of the questions, you have to come to the questions and do that again for the same questions. Do not go to the new questions, because the exam style questions are going to be like that. The 2 will be replaced. For example, in the exam, you have practiced the question that has a number 2 in it. That is going to be replaced with 3. You have to focus on the quality rather than the quantity. When you have perfectly attempted all of the questions, then repeat those same questions and repeat them again. Read the answer, do that over and over again. Repeat the same questions 3, 4, 5. If you have got time, 6 times. Do not go to the new questions. If the new question is new exam style question, then you can look at that. But if the question is same, you have to just neglect it. Do not care about it. And if the question is from 2013, 14, 15, just do not care about it if you have got less time. But for the sake of understanding, if you're interested, you can do that. And and I have explained for the previous question how to study the concept. You have to understand the concept excellently. And how can you do that? Repetition. Read all of the chapters, teach it to your imaginary students, then teach it again, then read the next chapter, and that is it. It's easy, all right? That is just practice and repetition. Next question is from the Walid Ahmad Baik. Okay. Hi, please share notes. Please give trick SBL, SBR, IFM, basically the advanced papers. Guide me to clear the exams. Okay, for the advanced papers, the advanced papers are very interestingly straightforward compared to the fundamental papers, all right, for the applied knowledge. F1, F5, F6, F7. Compared to that, I find it personally, advanced papers are easy. For the advanced papers, you have to have a good writing skill, and your correspondence should be excellent. The way that you write your report, you have to have an introduction, you have to have a beautiful way of delivering your points, all right? So you can practice on how to write a report for the exams, a very simple report, all right? So for all of those papers, that is a very comprehensive question, so I cannot answer it perfectly right now, but generally you have to basically do the repetition, and you have mainly gotten the knowledge from the applied skill. For example, for the SBR, you have got the knowledge from the F7, all right? So the SBR, there are going to be some few standards, new standards that you have to understand, and all of the standards is just repeated. For the advanced papers, the advantage is that you already have all of the knowledge that you need to pass the exam. The only thing that you have to do is that you have to shift your mindset from a person who is just going to answer the questions to a person who is actually working in a real working environment. You have to have the mindset of a CEO, CFO, or a senior management that is going to solve a problem. During the exam, you should not have the mindset of, okay, I'm going to just answer this question for the examiner and I have to, no, you will lose confidence. You have to get the mindset of a CFO and think about it. Okay, I have been presented with this problem and I have to fix it, and have a professional tone. You already have the knowledge from your F7, for example, in order to sit for the SPR, and that is it, all right? So, and the same technique is going to be utilized for the advanced papers. Understand the concept, you can do that by teaching your imaginary students, and solve questions repeatedly, over and over and over again. For example, for the advanced papers, I focus only on the 2019 and 2019 and beyond questions. Practice the question perfectly for the first time. When you have finished your kit, do that again and again and again, and I guarantee you will pass, inshallah. Okay. The next thing is that Kishore Kumar Dahal. Okay, I'm studying for knowledge level all 3 papers at once. I started 3 weeks ago. How should I schedule my study? How can I stay motivated, and how can I track myself if I'm in the right path or not? That is a very good question. Okay, I do not have personally experience of getting like sitting in 3 exams at the time. I think that is lots of pressure. You have to give yourself time to contemplate, to breathe, all right, Kishore? So, but if you have decided to do that, all fundamental papers are very actually kind of different. F1 is fine, you can do that. F2 and F3 are, that is management accounting and financial accounting, that is kind of different. You can do the same trick. First, for example, one day you have to read the management accounting, understand the concept of one chapter, and read it during the night to your imaginary students. For the next day, you have to teach that. You have to study the F3 and the first chapter, and teach it to your imaginary student for the next day. Try to balance that. It's going to be a little bit stressful. However, it is feasible. It's not going to be impossible, all right? So do the kit with the same trick. And how can you stay motivated? Imagine that this is This is you have to do. This is the thing that will distinguish you from other people, and it is a beautiful journey for you. You have to do it in order to prove yourself to yourself, to not anybody else. All right. So motivation. It is out of topic for this video, but motivation is not good. You have to have discipline. Motivation is one time, and if you are motivated at the time, you're going to study. If you're not motivated at another time, you're not going to study. But if you have discipline, despite whatever happens in your life, you will study. Then that is going to be a good time. For example, I'm going to share a very sad and good story, because end of that was good. My mother has been diagnosed with cancer, unfortunately, and the other doctor said that the second opinion said that that is not cancer. When we have been to the doctor, and she has been operated excellently, and that was fine. So after 1 year, she was thinking that she will still have the problem. For that reason, she was crying. She was very sad, miserable. When she told me about it, we have taken her to the doctor, to the city, and she recognized I have taken with myself my books. All right. She said that in this time even, all right. So you have to understand it does not mean that my books are more important than my mother. It means it is kind of, you have to have discipline, despite the fact that no emotions are allowed to come to this thing. I'm going to study for the sake of my family, for the sake of my society, in order to help my people. So like, my emotions does not matter. You have to do it. And the good thing is that she is absolutely fine. That was not absolutely cancer. That was just some other problems, and she is fine. Okay. And I think the final comment is that, how can I prepare myself for F3? Please make a complete guide video for it. And it is Hasina. Okay. And I have just done it. All right. So I'm going to answer questions from the students like that. If you feel that this is more interactive, you can comment your questions. I'm going to bundle it, and I'm going to select questions that are like meaningful, and I'm going to answer to those questions. Comment your questions and subscribe to the channel. Have a fantastic time.